Muchachos y muchachas. So I just thought that I'd provide a very quick update. This is going to be a very quick video. But I went to the border over the weekend, and I thought that I would just provide my observations. Now, for those of you that know, Title 42 has been relinquished. It was lifted, and therefore you saw a lot more activity happening across the Rio. Okay, we're going to say it like that, right? And when this happens, this is concerning, especially for the tots, the little ones, the niños. It's concerning because, you know, there have been instances where they travel by themselves, where they are put with adults that are not necessarily close to them, if you know what I mean, and they're just bringing them here. And then the mystery is more daunting, and it definitely echoes a lot of nefarious connotation, because now we know that there are 85,000 niños that are a mystery right now, right? So, and this was foreseen. This was foreseen years ago when these rules were so lax, right? And I don't want to go on a tangent because I really just want to stick to the observations that I made. But that's why I do it, just to gain that boots on the ground experience. And I did go as the press with Patriots for America militia, which is a Christian militia, and that's specifically what they do. They scout for those instances of questionable individuals coming with the little ones, right? And if the scenario doesn't add up, if there's something that's off, then they collaborate with law enforcement that is present on the border, and then the law enforcement individuals take it from there, right? Because the whole militia thing, they don't impersonate military law enforcement. They don't take matters in their own hands. At least this specific militia, Patriots for America, doesn't. And so that's why I really, really like accompanying them, because I love their mission. Of course, our mission is aligned, right? Because I absolutely abhor that nefarious activity of any kind, whether it's domestic or abroad, coming in, whatever. So anyway, so I accompanied them, and something interesting happened when we got there, okay? Usually, so if we are patrolling Eagle Pass, right? Like let's say Patriots for America goes to Eagle Pass as the breach point to survey whether or not this is happening, the activity, the individuals, all this. Usually it is an open space. It is supposed to be public. So families go there to fish. All the times that I've seen, they go to their fish. They do the recreational activities there. There's a golf course there. We're going to get to that. Hold on to that point. And yeah, basically it's just like a public park for families. But this time around, over the weekend, as we approached Eagle Pass, it was closed off. And that was very interesting. I've never seen that happen. I haven't seen that happen in the past 2 years, especially the 2 years that I've been there. I have never seen it happen. But there was very heavy presence of law enforcement, DPS, National Guard, Border Patrol. And let me just preface before going into all this, I actually love to see that happen. Okay, I'm actually hopeful when I see that happen. I'm actually grateful to see that much presence at the border, right? And but it was a little bit strange. I mean, I'm glad to see it, but nonetheless, it was still a little bit strange because it is, well, number one, a public park, and then number two, there were individuals that were still allowed to be on the grounds, right? I mentioned that there was a golf course. So there are certain individuals that could be on the golf course to golf if they have a golfing pass, but nobody else could enter the area, right? So that was a little bit funny. It was a little bit strange, but hey, I mean, those were the rules of, I guess, the high up leadership, right? And it's not even law enforcement. Law enforcement just follows orders. Border Patrol, they just follow orders. National Guard orders, right? So it came from higher up, from politicians, from blah, 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 blah. So that was interesting, right? So we got there, it was closed off. You couldn't even go to the boat ramp, which was strange once again, because from the time I've always visited the border in Eagle Pass, I've always been able to go to the boat ramp, go to the east and the west of the boat ramp. And this time around, nobody was allowed. Absolutely not. You would be arrested if you trespassed, okay? So we couldn't go in and do our usual thing of surveying the activity over there. And that was it. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, the golfers could go during the day, right? Within hours, within the decency of the business hours and all that. But regular people could not go. If you were a regular citizen, you cannot go to the public park. What else did I witness? So another thing that I witnessed that was actually new that I haven't seen before was the giant makeshift migrant detention, I guess, tent center, whatever. It was like multiple tents, and there are lots of lights, lots of National Guard, and this was something new for me to witness. Now, I know that they had something like this, I believe, back in 2021, early on in 2021 in El Paso, I want to say. And I don't know if El Paso still has it, but I want to say that this is very, very similar to that, right? And the thing that, once again, just makes it very mysterious, if that's the lack of better words, is the fact that we cannot see inside. The walls are covered, not that the covers, retraction. It's a tent, okay? So it's just white tent fabric, right? So you can't see indoors. The fence is lined with black lining. It's kind of see-through, but obviously it's there to kind of, shield the visibility of activity going on. And I'm not saying anything nefarious is going on, but there's definitely no transparency as to what's going on behind the tent walls, right? So, and that's what we saw. Now, I think I heard through the grapevine, and this was through people who were there, like from the militia, people heard rumors that somebody in the militia heard rumors that there were only males in that migrant camp, but I can confirm that we actually saw a woman and her child walking in between, tents. And so I don't know if that's enough to debunk that entire rumor that it was just military age male. Now, the military age males coming through and going to that center. Now, that's not to debunk that majority of the people that are crossing are military age males, because there is definitely some truth to that, but that's not what I saw, because I saw a woman and her child walking between tents. So I don't think that would leverage the conspiracy that there was only military age males there, okay? It also doesn't mean that there could be a majority males there. I don't know that, because once again, the tent walls were not see-through. So anyway, that is the update, guys. So I touched down really quick and came back, because if I cannot operate and see the activity, then there's no reason to justify my trip any longer. And so because everything was shut down, there are operations happening, I went ahead and came back. So I'm back doing my thing. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see it. This is what people have been shouting for with securing the border, having presence for the past, especially 2 years. I mean, of course, it's been going on for years, but especially in the past 2 years when we've seen the influx, this is what we've been wanting to see. And finally, I'm so glad to see it. So I'm encouraging it. I love to see it. Let me know what you guys know. That's just one breach point, though. That's not speaking on all the other breach points. That's just Eagle Pass. So, guys, thanks so much for your support. Thanks for wanting to stay updated on what's going on at the border. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.